Right, so I am going to go ahead and get started. Our first case is out of New York. This is Aja McCoy. She is missing from Bayshore, New York on February 9th of this year, 2023. She's 14 years old, 5'5", 120 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen wearing pajamas, a black jacket with a fur hood, and multicolored Croc shoes. If you have any information regarding Aja's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call 911 or the New York Missing Persons Clearinghouse at 800-346-3543. Her case number is USNY 47447. Our next case is a missing case from July 11th of 2022. This is out of New York as well, Mount Crisco. This is Alexander Perriott. She's 49 years old, 5'4", 150 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. Alexandra does have schizophrenia and may need medical attention. Alexander was last seen wearing a gray tank top, blue jeans, and flip-flops. If you have any information regarding Alexander's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Westchester County, New York Department of Safety at 914-864-7700 or New York State Missing Persons Clearinghouse at 800-346-3543. Her case number is 22-46619. This next case is JC Lynn Benson Perez. She is missing out of Bullhead, Arizona on December 31st of 2022. She is 36 years old, 5'4", 200 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. She does have her nose pierced. JC has multiple tattoos. Her forearm has a Mario Brothers mushroom. She has a black spade on her calf and colored flowers on the back of her neck. She does have a birthmark on the back of her leg. JC had been last seen in Utah in October and had left with a man named Tommy to DeLone Springs, but she moved at the first part of December to live in a shelter in Bullhead, Arizona. On January 13th of 2023, she was in a vehicle of other individuals who had been pulled over by law enforcement, and a couple of those individuals were arrested at the time. JC was not. Law enforcement had indicated to her family that the individuals that she was with that day are not good people to be associated with. This is the last time that JC has been seen physically. JC's family last heard from her on December 31st of 2022. She has not looked at any of her messages on social media or called anybody since that day, which is out of the ordinary for her. JC could still be in the Bullhead, Arizona area, Utah, or other areas that have previous locations that she was last known to be. If you have any information regarding JC's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Bullhead, Arizona Police Department at 928-201-7239. Case number is 23-04553. And you guys give me just a minute. I am going to let Ricky get in here. He is having some sort of technical issues, so give me one moment, you guys. Sorry about that. If you're here, let me know that you're here. Would love to chat with people. We do have some updates as well tonight. And here is Ricky. Hi, Ricky. How are you doing?
Hello. Doing good. I just got home from work, so still wearing my work stuff.
Right. Right. Is your green screen working today?
It hasn't been working the last couple of times. I don't know what's going on with it. So
Okay.
I'll have to figure out what's going on because I haven't used it the last 2 KMU pods I've done, so I don't know what's up.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just going to continue on here with some of our cases.
Okay. Hey, everybody.
Okay. Our next case is out of South Dakota. This is Eusebia Kaja Valsquez. She is missing out of Huron, South Dakota on November 7th of 2022. She's 17 years old, 5'4", 100 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Anna Zelma's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Huron, South Dakota Police Department at 605-353-8550. This next case is out of Kansas. I don't do a whole lot of Kansas. I kind of leave Ricky up to that. But this one came from someone that I know, and this is Cameron Bloodworth. He is missing out of Wichita, Kansas on February 15th of 2023. He is 29 years old, 5'8", 160 pounds, brown hair and green eyes. Cameron has multiple tattoos, as you can see in that photograph. He has a tattoo on the right side of his ribs, his back that says Camry. His left arm says One Love, and if you look at it in a different direction, it says Family. His right arm does have a tribal tattoo, and he has 2 half sleeves on his arm, and he does have tattoos on both sides of his chest. Cameron was last seen in the Lakeside Landing Trailer Park in Wichita, Kansas. Cameron does not have a phone or social media. I will tell you that law enforcement did go out to do a wellness check on him prior to the missing persons report coming out, and they were not able to make any contact with anybody at his last location. So if you have any information regarding Cameron's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-263-6011, or you can call KBI at 785-296-4017. Case number is 23C01069. Hopefully, he can get located and back to his family. I know they are very, very concerned about him. This next case is a case this girl went missing out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This is Tierra Campega. She is now missing out of Chicago, Illinois on February 3rd of 2023. She is 60 years old, 5'7", 142 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. She does have a 1-inch scar on her neck from a previous surgery. She does go by the name Ty. She has a history of seizures and she may be in need of medical attention. She is also pregnant. She went missing out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin on November 10th of 2020. She was located in Chicago, Illinois on February 3rd. She was placed in a shelter and had left that location and is still actively missing. She has not been active on social media. She has not contacted loved ones. There is a very much concern about her safety and her well-being. If you have any information regarding her disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call 911 or the Chicago, Illinois Police Department at 312-745-5020 or TLPI Investigations at 502-427-1010. She is back on NCMEC because she was taken off when she was found in New York, but they have got her back on there at 800-843-5678. The TLPI case number is JG134224. Her NCMEC number is 1471975. I know that her loved ones are very much wanting her to be located, just with her medical issues, and she's pregnant and she does not know Chicago, Illinois at all. She'd never been there. So there is some high concern on her whereabouts. This next case came to me Last night, this is Winston Mitchell Barrett. He is missing out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma on February 2nd, 2023. He is 31 years old. He's 6'1". I guess I forgot to put that on or he's 5'11". Sorry, I forgot to put that at the top of his flyer. 160 pounds, blonde hair, and green eyes. His hair is a dirty blonde color. He does have both of his ears pierced. He does use the name Wes. Weston does suffer from bipolar schizophrenia, and he has not been on his medication. He does have multiple tattoos. He has Country Boy on his back, a half sleeve on his left leg. It says 580. Multiple tattoos on both of his arms and his hand. If you could see from the photos below, it shows those tattoos. Weston could be anywhere in the Oklahoma City area, or possibility he had been seen around the Bricktown area near the Bass Pro Shop there in Oklahoma City, or he could have traveled to Norman, Oklahoma area. If you have any information regarding Weston's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Oklahoma City Police Department at 405-297-1129. His case number is 239715. And not sure who the Facebook user is. Says hello, Tatum Gray and Kansas Missing Unsolved. Good to see you guys. Thank you. It's good to have someone comment and have you guys here listening. So thank you. Ricky, do you want to do Diamond?
Sure. Here looks like Diamond West, missing from Washington, D.C. since January 19, 2023. She is 14 years old, 5'10", 125 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding, call the Metro Washington, D.C. Police Department at 202-727-9099, or her NCMEC number is 1470675. And up at the top of the flyer, you got black hair and black eyes instead of brown.
Yeah, you want to know something that's weird about that? There's a lot of people, when they're entering him, put black hair and black eyes. I usually change it, so I did not change it on her, so I apologize. I will do that.
And on the bottom it says brown, but at the top it says black.
I know. It's been a crazy week for me.
I've been there, done that. I've done that several times.
Yeah, it's been like super crazy this week. There's been a lot going on with some of the cases. Still with people harassing families, just saying completely awful, horrendous things. So again, if your family's out there, I know Ricky and I cannot stress enough, be careful what you post online. Do not put your personal address. Do not put your personal phone numbers on there. If someone reach out to you and they say they have your loved one, you need to contact law enforcement immediately. Take screenshots of it, whatever. This is a nationwide, probably across the world, with these scams. And you, as a family, you guys go through enough emotionally. You do not need to go through what some of these scammers put people through. It's terrible. I've dealt with it to help out some families. I know Ricky's dealt with it. Just, if reach out to us, because we've talked to people that have scammed before and stuff. So we just want you guys to be safe out there.
Definitely.
So the next case, Ricky, do you want to cover Abby or you want me to cover? I cover Abby every week. This is a case I'm very active on.
Why don't you go ahead and do Abby?
You want me to do Abby? All right, I'll do Abby.
Okay.
I probably don't even need the flyer to do it, but this is Abby Rain Shaper. She's missing out of Kansas City, Missouri on May 23rd of 2022. She is 22. At the time of her disappearance, she is now 23, 5'2", 120 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. She does have a birthmark there on her forehead that you can see in several of the photos. She has her nose, lip, and ears pierced. She has multiple tattoos on the back of her neck, her wrist, her arms. Those are all pictured down there. She went missing from her home around 12:40 p.m. on May 23rd of 2022 when she got into an unknown gray car with an unknown male who had been sitting outside her home for over 6 hours prior. She was last seen on the door cam there coming into her residence, wearing that tan crop shirt, black leggings, and Nike sandals. She was coming in to get her cat because her cat always went with her everywhere. The car and the cat have been both located. That is all that I can say on the car, but it has been located. Her phone had been pinged in many places during the time of her disappearance, but she has had no activity since that day on social media or anything. She has not contacted her loved ones, which is extremely out of character for her not to be on social media either. Abby was last known to be taken to an address in South Kansas City, Missouri, where she was observed entering the address but never seen exiting. If you have any information regarding Abby's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Missouri Department Sex Crime / Missing Persons Unit at 816-234-5220 or the Missouri State Highway Patrol Missing Persons Clearinghouse at 866-362-6422. Things that I can tell you with Abby, there have been several searches. Law enforcement is extremely active on her case. If anybody has any information, please call. They did a search a couple weeks ago. There is another one that is planned for this weekend. I cannot really release that location, but they are actively out searching for her. So I'm hoping that something will come about with her because it's going on 9 months. Someone said, thank you for showcasing Indigenous persons and teaching us what the red hand symbol means in Indigenous missing persons awareness. You're very welcome. That is another thing that I'm extremely passionate about is the Indigenous. They do not get a lot of, I don't know what you call it, social media, a lot of activities in a lot of their cases. I know Ricky has done several cases and stuff. And do you have anything to say about that, Ricky, about the Indigenous?
You pretty well covered it. I mean, it's important to get them out there. I know there's been a lot of talk in the media recently about, Indigenous women being, missing and being murdered and really not feeling like law enforcement's doing enough to get the cases out there and things like that. And so we're just trying to change that a little bit, trying to get them out there more.
Right. Our next case is out of Washington, D.C. Do you want to cover Leslie, Ricky?
Sure. It's like Leslie Urizar Hernandez. I hope I said Urizar right. Missing from Washington, D.C. since January 27, 2023. She's 16 years old, 5'3", 145 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Leslie's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call Metropolitan Washington, D.C. Police Department at 202-727-9099 or the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-843-5678. And her NCMEC number is 147-1513. See if we can't get her located and back to where she needs to be.
So I tried to cover Washington, D.C. Missing Persons Alerts is someone that I partner with and admin for. She has a page for all 50 states, and we're trying to build some of the states that aren't getting as much. So I tried to reach out and find some cases for the Washington, D.C. area. I do have a couple flyers that are older cases that I'm working on that I haven't quite got finished yet. But if there's anybody out there that knows of some Washington, D.C. cases that need to be covered, please reach out to Ricky or I so we can get some flyers out on those cases. So bear with us. Only Ricky and I do flyers for our pages. So Some, as you can see, have a lot of detail to them, and some don't have very much detail to them. So
Right.
some of the cases that have a lot of detail, they take us a little bit of time because we both do a lot of research to get quality information out to help locating someone as well. So, but if there are cases out there, no case is too old for us to cover. I think Ricky has one from like 18 something. That really super old case about that guy that went missing.
Which
I'll
one
have to
was-
pull it. I'll have to pull it up for you.
Okay.
But he has a really old one. So
Well, there was one that I did that was for a guy that was missing from Fort Riley, Kansas since like 1956, 1957. And I got contacted one day by his grandson up in Canada because he had apparently, after he left Fort Riley, went to Canada and started a family there. So his Canadian grandson got a hold of me and said he had been located up there or was living up there and had passed away, and they had the FBI involved, and they did DNA to confirm that it was definitely him. And he sent me a picture of his grandfather in later years, and I, compared it to the. You can tell it was the same guy, just aged, of course. But I mean, that was kind of an interesting one.
yeah.
So yeah, some of these old cases do get solved. I mean,
They
like I say,
do.
he's been missing from Fort Riley since 1956, 1957. So
Yeah, and that's true. There are a lot of cases right now that are getting solved. Some that are like 40 some years old that are getting solved. And there's a lot of remains being found, and they're working on DNA. There's a case that I know about that I actually contacted NamUs and law enforcement that could be a possibility of this individual who is missing. And I just checked back with them. They had reached out to me and said that they are running the DNA to see if it is possibly this individual. So I don't want to release who it is just in case it isn't that person. But I know that law enforcement and the NamUs database, they are trying to run a lot of DNA and try to get some of these cases solved out there, which is good.
Yeah, the one that I've been I sent you links to it today is they're doing. This guy's got this new documentary coming out about the Dolly Madison murders over in Great Bend about a little over 20 years ago, and I'm really anxious to see that documentary. I've found out that it's special showing theaters in Great Bend March 3rd and 4th, and then they're gonna. I guess after that, it's going to be released in different platforms. It's supposed to be on YouTube and some other places. And so as soon as that pops up and I can get a link to it, I'll share that too. But yeah. The latest development on that is they had revealed that they had DNA that they, I guess, hadn't tested yet. And the family was not too happy about that when they found out that they've been sitting on DNA and hadn't tested it. So hopefully they will, so they can figure out.
I would hope so. Because that case it's a sad case.
It is.
Just senseless.
I talked to a woman who was working at the McDonald's right across the street when that happened, and she said it was just absolutely just pandemonium.
Right.
They told them they had to stay inside the restaurant and stuff like that, so they were in there for quite some time and stuff like that. She worked for that McDonald's, so she was at work, but I mean, she said they told them to stay where they were while they were out looking for the guy or whatever. And it was just crazy.
Yeah. And for anybody that doesn't know Great Bend, Kansas, it's not a huge town.
No.
So something like that to happen is, out of the norm, especially back 20 years ago. So yeah, very out of the ordinary. So we're going to go ahead and do the located safe and share some of the individuals that have been located this past week. always good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In fact, one of them that I got on there, I just got shortly before the show that the family reached out and told me that their father had been located. And I thought that was great because he'd been missing for quite a while. So that was really good to get that notification. So,
Yeah. And sadly, I have a located deceased. I have to update afterward. As soon as we do get the show done, I have one to update to locate deceased. Jamie Ballack that was missing in can't remember what part of Nebraska it was, but they found him deceased inside a grain bin.
oh wow,
Yeah,
that is sad.
yeah.
I think this year I've had 4 since the first of the year. So we will do a reel because we always do like to do a reel on the ones that unfortunately are found deceased. So that is something that Ricky and I will have to see and put together.
Yeah.
So we definitely want to pay respects for the ones that are located that way. So. All right. So our next case, this is an older case out of South Dakota. This is Sharon Bald Eagle. She is missing from Eagle Butte, South Dakota on September 18th of 1984. She was 12 years old at the time of her disappearance. She would now be 50. 5'3", 110 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. Sharon was last seen wearing a black yellowish tiger stripe top and black shoes, and she had a red bag with her. Sharon and her friend were hitchhiking near Casper, Wyoming, when they got picked up by a Royal Russell Long and was taken to his home in Evansville, Wyoming. Long had tied up the girls at gunpoint. Sharon's friend was able to escape and went for help. However, by the time law enforcement arrived, Long and Sharon were gone. Long was later arrested in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Sharon was not with him, and he denied knowing her whereabouts. Long pleaded guilty to kidnapping and was sentenced to 2 life terms. He did die in prison in 1993. If you have any information regarding Sharon's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Fall River County, South Dakota Sheriff's Office at 605-745-4444. Her case number is 63037R. She is in NamUs at MP 4382. She still has a NCMEC number at 600185. I thought that her case was pretty interesting when I came across it. The fact that the one girl did get away, but by the time they got back, she was already gone.
I think I've seen a video on that on YouTube before. Familiar.
Yeah. So hopefully something will come about, but unfortunately, the person that probably really knows where she's at is deceased.
Oh wow.
Would you want to do the next one,
Sure.
Leah?
So Leah or Leah?
Maybe it's Leah.
And Leah Adams missing out of Pine Ridge, South Dakota, since January 6, 2023. Apparently, she had a birthday not too awful long after she went missing, because she was 15 when she went missing. She's now 16, 5'6", 125 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a black sweater and black sweatpants. If you have any information regarding Leah's disappearance, or you know her whereabouts, please call the Pine Ridge, Oglala Sioux, South Dakota Tribal Police. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, please forgive me. At 605-867-5111. And see if we can get Leah located and back to where she needs to be.
Yeah, I believe it's Ogallala. Ogallala.
It's a tough one.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to do Mackenzie?
Sure. Mackenzie Antelope missing out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota since December 10th of 2020. Was 14 when she went missing, is now 16, 5'9", 175 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. Was last seen wearing black clothing and no shoes. If you have any information regarding Mackenzie's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Sioux Falls, South Dakota Police Department at 605-360. See if we can't help get Mackenzie located and back to where she needs to be.
Yeah. I did hit South Dakota again, so trying to keep up with them. You guys are awfully quiet tonight. I haven't heard much out of you. Okay. Do you want to do Madison too?
Sure, I can do Madison if you want.
Yep.
Madison Carroll missing from Sioux Falls, South Dakota since October 5th, 2022. Was 16 when she went missing, is now 17. She is 5'2", 120 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. Was last seen wearing a junior reserve officer's training uniform. That's interesting. Do you have any information regarding Madison's disappearance? You know her whereabouts? Please call the Sioux Falls, South Dakota Police Department, 605-367-7000. And again, see if we can help get Madison located and back to where she needs to be.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. She was in her JROTC outfit.
Yeah.
All right, here is Maya Desiree Barnes. She is missing out of Washington, D.C. on May 1st of 2017. She was 15 at the time of her disappearance. She is now 21. She is 5 foot 6 inches tall, 125 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. She does have her ears pierced. She was last seen wearing a white shirt and tan pants. She was last seen May 1st of 2017. According to the agency, state that she was last seen on May 18th of 2017 at 8:30 a.m. in the 2900 block of Southern Avenue, Southeast. Authorities believe she had left on her own accord. However, she was not reported missing until March 5th of 2018. She may use the date of birth, November 13th of 2000, which is not her real birth date. If you have any information regarding Maya's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Metropolitan Washington, D.C. Police Department at 202-727-9099 or 202-576-6768 or NCMEC at 800-843-5678. Her case number is 16-058267. NamUs is MP60493. NCMEC is 1317435. I thought her case was pretty interesting when I got into looking at it, and the fact that she was not reported missing for a year almost. You're muted.
Here we go. Yeah, that is crazy. Why would you wait that long? I would have been all over it the minute she was missing.
Yeah, her case it's really interesting and kind of weird, and there's not a whole lot of information out about her case at all. So, but yeah, the fact that she was not reported for almost a year is, and she's not the only case I've ran across that it's like that they're not reported. So. Our next case is another case out of South Dakota. This is Rachel Lucille Cyrix. I guess maybe is how you say that. She went missing on November 12th of 2013. She was 30 years old at the time of her disappearance. She is now 39, 5'5", 140 pounds, brown hair and hazel eyes. She does have scars on her abdomen. Her hair may have blonde highlights. She has a dimple on her right cheek. Rachel has several tattoos. She has Bradley in black script on the left side of her neck, which you can see in that picture below. She has a blue Playboy bunny logo on her left hip, black tribal type heart on her lower middle back, and 2 large red flowers tree and the initials RJ that is on her right arm, extending from her wrist to her elbows, and those are all in the pictures. Rachel was last seen in South Dakota Brad, her husband, stated that she had picked him up at a gas station and they had drove home, which is about 20 minutes away. They were not there very long, and then she had drove him to a friend's house. This is the last time that she had been seen. In December of 2013, her gray and black 1995 Chevy Silverado pickup with South Dakota license plate number 4CH634 was found on a bee farm in Hernan, South Dakota. That is a picture of what her truck resembled. The truck had severe damage and it was inoperable. There was a lot of damage underneath the vehicle as well. The bee farm was owned by Tyler Griffith's family, who is a friend of her husband, Brad, who she had actually taken him to see the day that she had went missing. Rachel also had a green, pink, and white quilt that was in her home, but that also went missing the day that she disappeared, which you can see the picture of the quilt. Rachel and her husband have a history of substance abuse, and their children are in their family's custody. Rachel had been working on getting her life back together and getting her children. She was in the process of getting divorced and had filed a protective order against her husband. Foul play is suspected, and her husband is the prime suspect in her case. If you have any information regarding Rachel's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Sanborn County, South Dakota Sheriff's Department at 605-796-4511 or the South Dakota Division of Criminal Investigation at 605-773-3331. Her case number is 13-28456. Her other case number for the Division of Criminal Investigation is 1306989. She is out on NamUs at MP23091. I thought her case was quite interesting, especially the deal with the quilt.
Yeah.
That seems to be kind of predominant in her case. And then we have Samantha Humphrey. I don't even know if I can say this name. Is it Chautauqua, New York? I don't know how you say it.
Schenectady.
Sheneka?
Yeah, Schenectady.
Schenectady, New York. She went missing on November.
Schenectady.
Okay, I probably will never pronounce it right. She went missing on November 25th of 2022. She was 14. She is now 15. She's 4'11", 95 pounds, blonde hair, and hazel eyes. She was last seen wearing a black puffy jacket, pink shirt, bell-bottom jeans, and a tan Timberland boots. If you have any information regarding Samantha's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Schenectady, New York Police Department at 518-830-0911 or the New York State Missing Persons Clearinghouse at 800-346-3543 or NCMEC at 800-843-5678. Her case number is 22-47171 AP. NCMEC is 146735. So that was the last case that I was going to cover tonight. I feel like we really went through those fast. Some new things for Guardian, and I was going to keep it a secret, but I don't think I can keep it a secret anymore just because it keeps coming up. I am looking at adding a third page for Guardian. I do have the page in the group, but I am looking at putting a new page together for unidentified. I think it's important. I know it's a topic that, as an advocate, and I know for the families, we don't want to talk about a missing loved one being deceased. But I do think it's highly important, especially some of these older cases, that we need to have those options to look at I do have some families that they quite regularly look on NamUs database to filter through if there is somebody that they have found remains that could be their missing loved one. There are some Facebook pages out there, but I just thought it would be good to add another one to hopefully help maybe locate somebody.
Yeah. And I do want to identify as myself as well. So.
Mm-hmm. Ricky does a lot of unidentified, so I'll be once I get it up, I'll be transferring those over as well.
Yep. There's more I want to do because I've been looking at donut work that amplifies, and there's a few I don't have, so I'm going to work on those too.
Yeah, there's quite a few. The other thing that I have in the works is the age progression. I've reached out to some resources to see, because I've had several families that have older cases that they would like an age progression. This is something that I am working on. I've had a couple good leads. The problem is a lot of the age progression people that actually do it are very busy. They're extremely busy. I'm working on it. So I do have some cases that families have requested and trying to find. I know NCMEC does them. I don't know who they have do them, but there are some private people that do them as well. So working on that. Trying to think what else is going on.
I don't know if NCMEC has like people on staff that do theirs for them or not.
Yeah, I'm not for sure if it's a staff or if they outsource it. Missing persons. This is missing persons alert. One thing that has really came up, I know you guys see like Ricky does like hashtag missing persons, stuff like that. I do a lot of hashtagging. Missing persons alerts does a lot of hashtagging, and a lot of people don't understand why it's important to hashtag. Hashtagging actually, can get you to find certain cases a lot faster. It gives more recognition to cases. I don't want to say makes your cases famous, but I mean, it just gives them more of a way to be seen. So hashtagging is really important. I hashtag every one of my flyers. I know Ricky hashtags his. It's just a really good way to get where all that someone has to do is click on a hashtag and it will bring up missing people or a missing loved one. Yeah. So it's a good way. So in case someone would come across, say, one of the flyers, they can click on it and they can get more information out there on the internet. And she did one for you, Ricky. Hashtag Ricky Trubay at Kansas Missing and Unsolved. So she's making you famous, Ricky. She's making you famous.
Appreciate that.
Ricky's famous. He's been doing this forever. I can't think of anything else. Yeah. I don't know if there is. I know, like on my page, I've spent, I don't know, 3 days this week dealing with people putting spam on my page. I know Missing Persons Alerts was getting hit of it. I think Ricky said you got something too.
Yeah.
If you guys see it, please let us know. Like I had said before, that's not something we really like to have to deal with all the time because we'd rather be getting information out.
Yeah.
But just let us know if you see it, because we're all trying to watch each other's pages and take care of it as well. But it is a
I've been seeing the ones where they're replying to people's comments and hitting them up for friend requests and I guess, for lack of a better way to put it, friends with benefits type stuff. And it's like, nope, that's not going to fly on my page. You're out of here.
Yeah. It's a lot of really disgusting things going on out there with people.
Yeah. Stupid.
It definitely brings me back up to the families. You guys have got to protect yourselves out there. Because there's a lot of people out there that do not have your best interest. They're trying to get money, and they're, playing on your guys's tragic event, of having someone missing.
Yeah.
And like I said, please report that. The FBI is very much working on those cases. The IC3 form, if you go out to the FBI, that is where you can report it. I will tell you that the form is not fun to fill out. I think they could have made it simpler. But to let you guys know that, whoever is in charge of your case to definitely get that reported to them as well. It's been a busy week for me.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I don't know if you want to call it policy or whatever, but I always make it a point if a family member I'm doing a flyer for will ask me if I could put their phone number on the flyer, I'll tell them that I don't typically do that because I try to protect them as best I can from scammers and stuff like that. So I tell them I don't put family member phone numbers on there for that reason. Protect them, to keep them safe from crap.
And I think that's a good point that you brought up, Ricky, is not only are we trying to protect the missing persons, we are out here to protect the families as well.
Yeah.
So if you guys ever have any issues, please reach out to Ricky or I and let us know, and we will try to take care of any of those issues.
Definitely.
I can't think what else. I feel like this week has been kind of crazy busy. I do have more flyers to put out. My missing persons friend told me last night that I needed to just go to bed. She's like, you can post all that stuff later. She's like, you've kind of been on a rampage. And I get like that sometimes. Just get to making flyers. I know Ricky's like the same way. It's always like, oh, I'll just do one more, and you end up 3 hours later, you're still posting flyers and stuff. But again, I really want to just thank the families. Thank you for sharing your stories with us and stuff. And, know that we're always here for you guys. But yeah, trying to work on a lot of different things for several of the cases where they kind of feel like they've hit some roadblocks on as well. So, but I do have more flyers to put out and more to make. I know Ricky does too.
Oh, yeah.
And Ricky sent a whole bunch of flyers, and I apologize, I have not got them over to Guardian yet. But I do plan on getting those out on Guardian as well. And if you guys have cases, please reach out to Ricky or I. Ricky does do Kansas Missing Assault, but he will make a flyer for anyway.
Oh, yeah.
For anyone. And he's done several out there, but just let us know. I guess if there's like nothing more. Ricky, do you have anything else to say? Anything new besides, you brought up the...
Not much. I mean, just been keeping busy working and this and that and trying to get stuff done.
Right.
My 40-hour-a-week job plus what I do at Kansas Missing, and so I keep busy. And my kid, of course, my daughter. I have my 18-year-old daughter, and she's special needs, so that keeps me busy.
Right.
And my 2 dogs.
Right.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but he stuck his nose over here a little while ago, but I don't know where he is now. But
right. I'm really super happy. Mine's been quiet, and Timo and Creature have left me alone during the podcast. So Timo always likes to be busy. He always has to be right in the middle of everything. So
yeah.
Other than that, things are going good. This week's been crazy at work, but just keep it on. But like I said, you guys, if there's cases you want to see, please let us know. Sometimes I get like one case and I kind of go on a rampage for that state. But like I said, I have some more detailed cases and I'm working on flyers. It just takes a little time for us to do that. So other than that, if there's nothing else, I guess we can let you guys go. You guys are super quiet tonight.
Yeah.
So appreciate anybody that's watching and for the families out there. And I'm going to let Ricky do a prayer because he does way better than I do at it. And he wasn't here the last couple times. Have you missed a couple podcasts?
Last couple shows. One of them was I was working, and the other one I couldn't get back from the laundromat in time. So
Yep.
Yeah. Got started on my day late that day and just couldn't get back here fast enough. I felt bad for that, so felt really bad because I wanted to be on the show that night and be up here and stuff.
Right. And there's my little friend Allison giving out my locations and stuff.
Thank you, Allison. Appreciate it.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Thank you, Allison. I'm telling you, she has been doing some pretty amazing stuff with some videos, getting Ricky and I's cases out farther so we can have more time to make flyers. She's been doing some videos. She's working on this fancy verbiage stuff right now. So she does a lot of research on ways that we can increase the volume of places to be seen and making sure that cases are being seen for both Ricky and I. So I really appreciate her a lot. But yeah, we're always doing something. If you guys don't see us, there's always something going on, backstage and stuff. So we definitely, like I said, I really do appreciate Allison. And like I said, she's got, she has a page for every state, and she will take a flyer and she will post that flyer in every state. So to let you guys know, our flyers don't stay in the States. Like Ricky's flyers do not just stay in Kansas. We blast his flyers nationwide. Same with mine. Because like I said, especially, just like the one case tonight, missing out of Wisconsin, ended up in Illinois. There's several cases like that people are all over the place. So so we do go nationwide on everything. So Ricky stuff goes all over the place. And I found Ricky's flyers in some pretty interesting places before. So
they get around. I don't know how, but they do.
Yep. So with that being said, Ricky, I'm going to let you go ahead and close us out with a prayer.
Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together tonight so we could go through these cases and help bring some missing folks home tonight. As always pray that they reach the right ears, the right hearts, to do the right thing and make the calls that'll bring them back home. And until we see each other again next week, everybody stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and amen.
Amen. Thank you guys, and we will see you guys next Thursday. Bye.